Yeah, welcome back. So we were talking about trajectories, positioning schemas. So the first video was up to schemas, and then this is the second video continuing from observation and assessment video now. So children with trajectory positioning schemas. So the child here is fascinated with straight lines and movements in lines. Yeah, and I did say that my last daughter, we pretty much observed this for her as her schema. So making trails, patterns in mud, sand, etc., throwing, kicking, bouncing balls, pushing a shopping trolley or pushchair in straight lines, wanting to help with mopping, sweeping, dusting, etc. I remember sometimes becomes a bit of difficulty between herself and the two older sisters. Yeah, because she would like to use the chemicals. If it's a Dettol, she would like to spray. That she would like to just do the dusting Saturday morning and all of that when the house is being cleaned. Whilst her sisters think that he's too young. He's just a 3-year-old. He should probably go playing, and they're not doing what they are doing. Yeah. So watching object drop, which is carved from high chair. A child here is learning about length, distances, weights, sizes, shapes, gravity, spatial awareness, as well as developing their muscles and balance. So how do we encourage trajectory exploration? So resources, we use balls, soft balls, throwing games, skittles, toy toolkits with hammers, weaving, ribbons threaded through fencing, cars and rams, drums and saucepans and wooden spoons. Related stories, stories we can read to these children will be the Nomon's Tunip, that's the traditional tales. Then the Gingerbread Man, Rapunzel, Bob the Builder, Thomas the Tank Engine, Kiss Kiss by Margaret Wilde. Yeah, Rapunzel. Yes, my daughter likes that so much. Bob the Builder. Yeah, Thomas the Tank. If she watches anything on the TV, she wants Thomas the Tank. Nursery rhymes. The Grand Old Duke of York, Higgledy Diggly Dock. Example of words or languages to introduce to these children. Line, long, as in straight, up, down, high, low, fast, slow, fly, twirl, glide, heavy, light, big, small, etc. So rotational moving or creating circles. So rotational moving and creating circles. So child is fascinated with items that rotate and spin, including spinning themselves. Yeah, spinning wheels on car toys, turning toys, pushchair upside to spinning the wheels, or playing with anything else that spins or rotates. Drawing, painting and making circles, sitting and watching a washing machine or ceiling fan rotate, spinning themselves, exploring cogs and other pieces of turning machine. So a child here is learning about rotation, spinning, speed, size, spatial awareness, movement, perception, mixing and subsequent changes, cause and effect, hand-eye coordination. Then how do we encourage display? How do we encourage display? Resources or activities that we will need. Wheels, rolling dough, pastry, spinning tops, kaleidoscopes, cooking utensils for whisking and mixing, drawing, circular objects to draw around, hula hoops, paints, rollers, etc. Related stories, Willie Gale, that's Miriam Latimer, Oscar and the Cricket, a book about moving and rolling, that's Jeff Warren, Baby Touch rhyme book, that's Lady Bird, An Island in the Sun, that's Stella Blackstone, Related nursery rhymes, sounds. The wheels on the bars. Round and round the garden, wind the bobbin up. Here we go around the mulberry bush. Yeah, so all the stories with the action accompanying will be exciting to these children. Words, vocabulary to introduce: round, circle, twirl, spin, fast, slow, dizzy, thimble, helicopter, fan, washing machine. So enveloping as covering or wrapping things themselves or space. A child here is fascinated with covering, wrapping or hiding things, space, or themselves with different media, or they cover themselves with different media. They might be closing doors, covering or hiding themselves with towels and blankets, wrapping, presenting toilet roll, newspapers, completely wrapping dolls or teddies in a blanket, burying or hiding objects in sand, mud, etc., covering objects in paint, folding pictures, pieces of paper into small packages. Then the resources, activities we can use: homemade tents, variety of boxes with lids, envelopes, and things to put inside. Opportunities to cover over objects, e.g., sun, dinosaurs, wrapping presents as well. So enveloping, covering or wrapping things themselves, space. Related stories. So the princess and the pea, yeah, the old lady who swallowed the fly, funny bone stories, etc. The nursery rhymes, songs that we can introduce: Turning the bird, Little boy blue, sing a song of sixpence. The words, vocabulary to introduce: inside, outside, in, out. Shake it all around, we do the hokey cokey. Hide, beneath, under, fold, wrap, dark light, where's gone. So we can introduce all of that to children. Then transporting, moving from one place to another. So transportation schema: moving objects themselves or others from one place to another. Here the child will be fascinated with being carried by adults, moving items from one place to another. Carrying bags, sometimes filled with items, carrying out imaginary play involving transporting friends, toys from A to B, toys, pushers, push and pull toys. Movable objects, carrying baskets or containers of sun, water, or similar from one place to another, being moved around in their own pushchair, transport and vehicle, e.g., buses, trains, and rides in the family, etc. Resources, activities: a variety of bags, baby slings, rucksacks, hobby horse, buggies, pull along toys with trailers, items to move around, it is purple from beach, twigs, etc. Nursery related stories: Mr. Gumpy's outing by John Benningham, Rose's walk, that's Pat Hitchens, The shopping basket by John Benningham, Diggers and dumpers and tough machines, that's Dolin Kinderley, Duck in the Truck, Martin Waddle. Nursery rhymes, the songs we can sing: We are going on a bear hunt, 5 little dags, Polly put the kettle on, Ride a cock horse to Boundary Cross. Vocabularies: full, empty, top, bottom, line, along, distance, far, journey, trip, different different types of transport as well. So connecting, joining things together. Some children, their schemas, a repeated pattern of behavior, connecting. So the child here is fascinated with joining things together, tying things up, making connections. Behavior pattern: tying table legs up in with strings, tying doorknobs together, putting the train track together rather than pushing the train itself. Building with construction toys, seeing how things can connect together, sticking boxes together with sticking tape. So resources, activities we can share with children who display this pattern of behavior: train tracks, construction, strings, sellotape, paper or boxes, large paper clips, locks and chains. Related stories: Bob the Builder and similar stories which involve construction. Nursery rhymes and songs that we can sing with these children: follow the leader, follow the leader, leader, follow the leader. One elephant went out to play. Ring games, dancing in pairs. Vocabulary or language to introduce: join, together, stick, fix, glue, stack, build, construct, connect, up, down, in, out, etc. So scattering, some pattern of behavior is scattering, spreading and scattering objects in space. A child here is fascinated with heaping and spreading items about, emptying containers onto the floor and then will walk away. They'll empty the container on the floor and walk away. Splashing water, pulling tissues out of the box, tearing paper into small pieces, kicking the leaves in autumn, using their arms and legs to spread things, i.e. oats, pasta, rice, etc. When digging sand pit, throwing the sand on the floor. Resources and activities to share: water sprays, flour shakers, an inexpensive box of tissue, they can use, pasta, oats in a large plate tray, dustpan and brush, small containers of items on a large sheet. Nursery rhymes: Humpty Dumpty, Incy Wincy Spider. Words, language to introduce: scatter, spread, around, over, there, splash, explore, texture and emotions, sounds, hui, whoosh. So enclosure enclosure and containing, that's enclosing themselves, toys and space. A child here is fascinated with creating spaces and surrounding to put objects or themselves into, hiding under furniture or covering, like being in a tent or a tunnel, dressing up in scarves, hats, glasses, etc., wrapping dollies and teddies in blankets, rearranging the furniture to create them, drawing and painting shapes and then fill them in, making enclosures with bricks and objects, making the edge of the jigsaw puzzle, etc. Resources, activity to share: lots of different size containers, flower pots, saucepans, buckets, tins, yogurt pots, recycling containers, spoons and ladles, different materials for putting in sun, water, rice, pasta, pebbles, buttons. Related stories we can read with these children: 10 in the Bed by John Orman Road, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, a traditional tale. Nursery rhymes and songs: I am a little teapot, the magic porridge pot. Words, language to introduce: inside, full, empty, half empty. Names of various containers, discuss the sound of objects inside different containers. All of this will be helpful. I always say that where practitioners have gone the extra mile to know about schemas, and in order to show that on the floor, that will be outstanding stuff. That the room is set based on schemas for the children, because the children love to do this. This is the pattern of behavior, learning behavior that they have, and then practitioners put together the room to meet the needs of the children. That will be outstanding stuff. So on top, or be on top, or placing objects on top. A child here is fascinated with climbing on top of furnitures, kitchen worktops, climbing frames, reaching up to put objects on top of surfaces, trying to balance items on top of others. Resources to share: opportunities for the child to climb, lift them onto surfaces When requested, support to reach out in putting objects on high surfaces. Ensure that you have a risk assessment in place for resources and that you are not leaving children unattended. Yeah, I hope that's clear. All of these things that you are doing in the room situation, you got to have visible eye around, constantly risk assessing what is out, what is not going to be good for the children, for their health and safety, what needs removing. Adults are making those decisions as they go along. Nursery rhymes and songs: The Grand Old Duke of York, Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars, Jack and Jill. Then words, language to introduce: on top, above, high, up, view, landscape, horizon, reach, stretch, take about what it feels like to be high up. Yeah, we'll talk about that, about how what it feels like to be high up. Well, so that is all about schemas. Yeah. So we can discuss these things. I think in the work area, I have a sample of stuff to show you how a plan has been done with a thinking around schemas. Yeah, with a schema. And then how you can support this in your setting for your children. So what are children's interests? It's going to be very important, because interest, children's needs, children's development really underpin all of observation. We are doing observation in order to be able to identify what interests are, what the needs are, what development stages are, so that we will know what children are able to, or what children know, what children understand, and what children can do. Yeah. Then on top of that, then we determine next step. So we assess this observation, we determine next steps. Then we'll have an intention for what skills, knowledge, and understanding we want children to acquire whilst they are in our care. So that is the basis for planning for the children. That's the basis for all of the support we give the children in order that they are achieving and then they are learning. So Ofsted is so keen to see children's interests being followed in childcare settings for a variety of reasons. Yeah, one is, if a child is interested, then they will learn. So if the child is interested in what you are providing, then they will learn. If they are not interested, they're not going to learn. Behavior is going to be terrible. Behavior is not going to be, will be unacceptable. Yeah. Confidence and self-esteem will be raised if a child's interests are followed. Yeah, we got to listen to the children. Yeah, the child's voice, very important. Development in all 7 areas of the EOFS can be promoted through following the child's interest. Each child is an individual and should be seen this way. Knowing your key children's interests will show a good relationship and bond, which are crucial for development in the early years. Yeah, so Ofsted is very much interested in practitioners knowing the interest of children and then following it or them to supporting their learning in the home environment. So interests are subjects. Yeah. What are interests? So I'll try here to define what an interest is. So interests are subjects. It could be a subject, it could be an idea, it could be a thing, or it could be a topic, or it could be an event which fascinate and stimulate the curiosity of the child. Yeah, so if we talk about interest, we're talking about a subject. Think about a subject. If you want to know about your children's interest, think about a subject. Okay, which subject are they interested in at the moment? Which idea are they interested in? Obviously, you are observing them. You are listening to what they are saying. You are seeing with your eyes what they are doing, and parents are speaking to you as well, and other colleagues. Yeah, so you have the idea. What things in the environment are they always seeing with? Yeah, what topics? What events? So all of these will be things that will fascinate and stimulate them, their curiosity. So it may be for the long term, or it could be emergent or fleeting, as some key persons will call it. Yeah, so all of this interest, all of these subjects, all of these ideas, all of these things, topics and events that children might be saying to you, might be acting out, will be their interest. And this could be for the long term, or this could be for a short period of time. It may also be an obsession with a particular toy or learning resources, either found at the nursery, the childminder's home, or that parents have informed you about as something or an object that the child engages with at home, which is why it's vitally important speaking with parents all the time. So where I was heavily involved in planning in the moment, would have been doing those focus children, focus sheets being signed, parents completing those, for us to have information on the children. So the toy or the object will provide the leap pod, yeah, for further learning. So this interest is actually going to provide you the starting point for future learning. So it takes what the child is interested in providing a learning experience that images and motivates him or her to learn. Yeah, if you know the interest, you can tap into that interest, which is attunement. You can tap into that interest to support the child even better. So the key is for the key person to be attuned to the child's play, conversations, and activities for clues to each child's interest. Yeah. So we continue on interest. So if practitioners can fully tune into children's interest and identify learning outcomes, this can make it easier for practitioners to understand how the child is learning. As practitioners, we need to know what the certain child is interested in and how this is being used to support their development. Interest must be the starting point for activities. Yeah, interest must be the starting point for activities. Remember that you collect all this information through observation. What parents have told you about their child or their children, and your assessment of it all. Children needs. So children needs and stage of development. So all we talk about are the interest. So you need to know the interest to observation in order to support planning effectively, therefore quality of education. And then also you need to know the children's need and stage of development. It's very important. Yeah, so children's needs may be separated into learning and developmental needs, or sometimes learning and developmental needs may be same as one. So if we talk about needs, children may have learning needs and children may have developmental needs, or sometimes both. So for instance, babies and toddlers may be learning to roll, to crawl, to walk, to jump. Children must master these skills through repeated practice. These are children's current needs. Children may have issues that border on special educational needs and or disabilities, English as an additional language, etc. Child's developmental stage will be where they are now, as in what they know and can do currently, from where next steps are determined to support children's forward learning. You must approach both observation and assessment with the intention of finding something out. Yeah, so we're just not doing observation in the vacuum. We're doing it for doing sake, but we're doing it with the intention of finding something out. We're doing it to know what the children know, what knowledge they have now, what understanding they have, what skills they have. Therefore, based on that, where next do we want to take these skills and knowledge and understanding? What do we want them to learn and to know and to be able to do as they go forward? Yeah. So in conclusion, let the discussion continues at the community area. Yeah, on the app here, you can get onto the community area. You can send me a message. We can engage. We can discuss things there. If you seek any further clarification, you're gonna be getting in touch with me quickly, where you can ask me all sort of questions and raise any points for clarification. I have also included on the downloadable section the following materials for you. Well, should be your adaptation and use. You can ask me any questions on this anytime. So the materials that will be at the downloadable session will be suggested activity 1 and 2. Yeah, I've put together some activity, suggested activity 1 and 2, with schemas in mind. Yeah, with a schemas in mind, to see how all of this work out. Child interest checklist as well. Yeah, child interest checklist will be there. You can download that for your use in your setting. And then Nat Brown's classification of schemas observable in your children. Yeah, Nat Brown is a professor in early childhood education. She's done a lot in well, as far as LES is concerned. In England, she did a big review about the qualification and all of that in the early years. She's a professor at Sheffield University. So she has come up with a classification of schemas observable in your children. So you're gonna download that as well in the downloadable section. So in the community area, I have provided you with 2 sample planning, which are based on completed observations. Do consider these and let me know what you think about them. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. Do reach out to me for any further questions. I'm more than happy to engage with you and then to support you through your journey of learning. Thank you very much. Thank you.